Welcome everyone, my name's Darkness Games, and this is a review on Resident Evil. I play through the whole game before I'm reviewing a game with no expectations to give each game a fair score in my opinion. Let's start this one a little new and see how you like this type of review. I will be putting all my opinions for this game into points of the game and I think are important. So let's start this video with the game and how it leads. Resident Evil has to be one of the best video game series, and playing the first one that started it all makes me realize why it has lasted so long. The intro to the game is a good story of you being a STARS member, Chris or Jill, keeping it all connected from the start and making a good connection of why, where, and who you are. And it is that all games should really do, but I understand in horror games you sometimes might never understand where or why something is happening, or even who you are. But Resident Evil makes the horror action type into something with a huge story that you only begin with in Resident Evil, making it one of Capcom's biggest IPs over time. Now, enough drooling over the game, I should review it. The starting of Resident Evil has you thinking you're going to be running from zombie dogs to running into zombies for the first time and understandably looking freaked out at what you're looking at. Right after you see one chewing on your own STARS member, Kenny, leading the story very well, moving from section to section of the mansion that can feel like forever sometimes, because in a game about zombies, the puzzles and how you have to do them are such a surprise, but making the game that much better at the same time. Using your brain while trying to play a horror game can make it even scarier because you are more focused on the task than the zombie at the time. The gameplay. This has the fixed camera angle and pre-rendered backgrounds, making it nothing unique at the time, but mixed with the action to puzzle solving gives it this very intense feeling of dread each time you turn a corner or just can't see past a point, feeling like there is more to find and secrets that can help you through the game, and the map having it told you that you haven't found something or that there is an item you need to interact with, showing you that if you really want to complete each room, you can. But it may take some time with how the game is loving to move you around a lot from one section to the next, back and forth, making it important to try everything while you can. The last thing for the gameplay is that some things in the game matter a lot. You can save people, and they can save you based on what you decide to do. The music and the soundtrack. The most ominous sounding tracks that I was hearing all the way through the game. Each time you hear the monster coming, the music stops and all you can hear is the zombie or mutant thing coming after you, gives it a nice feel of, oh no, I'm in danger. The soundtrack throughout the game is very well placed and it suits it very well. The story of Resident Evil only begins here. As we know, there is a ton of games already, but this starting to the series really gives it a long stretch with all the little details you can find, knowing that even if you can get rid of all this stuff in this place, that it will never be enough to stop everything going on, because the small hints of it being something bigger than just all in this game, it really pushes the story up, making me want to know more and more to see the next game/games. The feel. Now, without spoiling anything, I will say that some stuff within the game does feel very tedious. And sometimes, if you are a fast gamer and don't slow down to really read some things and try all sorts of stuff, you can be left stuck at a point like me, who took almost an hour until someone told me, oh, you just need to do this simple thing, and me realizing how dumb I was in that moment, because the game does give you a solid hint on it, but other than the feeling of a little tedious, the feeling you get if you played this alone and in the dark would make me jump a few times, but also maybe look behind me a few times just in case, because horror games really make you do that. Well, when they are good Anyway, the feeling this whole game goes from horror to mystery and realizing that it's much bigger than you ever thought, the smart storytelling for more content to be made in the future, setting it up very well with how it feels like you aren't done with this chaos and it's only the beginning. The price for something that is this old can differ because you can get the HD version of the game. Last time I saw it was £15 and 99p, but mostly I see it on sale, and as with most games, I would always wait for a deal, or if you really can't get it, there is always emulation. The pros and cons. The cons to Resident Evil being that in 2025 there is a lot more games that I would say do so much better for the same price, as well as some controls being a little annoying and sometimes tedious, but other than that, the pros take its score high because the storytelling is amazing. The puzzles you sometimes have to really think about while the tension builds, and looking for everything as well as it's telling you if you missed something. The pros take over the cons. My conclusion for Resident Evil is that I see how it could be the start of something huge. Nothing about this game I could say makes it a bad game, but by far perfect. So my score for Resident Evil would have to be an 8.5 out of 10. It loses half a point for being a little bit pricey for the times, where there are amazing games at the same price, and another half point based on the amount of tedious things you need to do, but I think 8.5 is a fair score. Thank you all for watching. Thank you everyone who left a like, comment, subscribe, followed, and all that fun stuff. I hope to catch you all next time, but until then, keep being awesome.